So till now we discussed how we calculate the two-port network parameters for the different two-port networks, like Z parameter, Y parameter, ABCD parameter, and H parameter. So we discussed it and we solved some problems to calculate the parameters of a two-port network. In today's class, we are going to discuss interrelation between the different types of two-port network parameters. So interrelation between the different type of two-port network means how we express the Z parameters in terms of the Y parameters, how we express the Y parameter in terms of the Z parameters. So like what is the relation between the different type of two-port network parameters? Those things we are going to discuss in today's class. So till now we discussed how we calculate the two-port network parameters like Z parameter, Y parameter, ABC and H parameters. In today's class, we are going to discuss about what is the relation between different type of two-port network parameters. Different type of two-port network parameters.
Sir, some are asking you to allow, sir. Many of them are waiting.
Sorry.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So today we will discuss interrelation between the different two-port network parameters. And the first one is how we represent Z parameters in terms of the Y parameters. How we represent the Z parameters in terms of the parameters. So here the equations 29 to 32 will help you see the relation between the Z parameters Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22 and Y parameters Y11, Y12 and Y21. So this provide you the information about the relation between Z parameter and Y parameter. How we represent the Z parameter in terms of the Y parameters. That means if we know the Y parameters of any two-port network, then by using these relations, we can easily identify the Z parameters of that two-port network. Right? So now, these are the relations between the Z parameter and Y parameter. Now we are going to discuss how we get these expressions, how we get these mathematical expressions. First, we will discuss on the derivation. Later, we solve problem by using these relations. So first, I will explain how we get all the derivations, how we get the Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22 in terms of the Y parameters. We will discuss now. Please listen. So see, it's the same procedure again. So if you want to represent any two-port network parameter in terms of the other two-port network parameters, you can follow this same procedure. So please concentrate. Now our aim is we want to represent the Z parameters in terms of the Y parameters. Please listen my statement. I want to represent the Z parameters in terms of the Y parameters. In terms of the Y parameters. Now you have to start with the Y parameter equation. You have to start with the Y parameter equation. So what is the Y parameter equation? I1 equal to Y11 into I1, right? Y11 into I1 and plus, sorry, Y11 into I1, sorry, V1 plus Y12 into V2. Similarly, I2 equal to Y21 into V1 plus Y22 into V2. Is it okay? These two equations we already discussed when we learned about the Y parameter calculations. So these are the two basic equations which we are generally used to calculate the Y parameter. So here also, I want to represent the Z parameters in terms of the Y parameters. Then you start with the Y parameter equation. You have to start with the Y parameter equation. See, I1 equal to Y11 into V1 plus Y12 into V2. But I want the V1 and I1 only. But I have the V2 here. Now what I have to do is I have to convert the V2 in terms of the V1. how we get the V2 in terms of the V1? By using this equation. So from this equation, can I write V2 equal to Chappanama, what is the value of V2 from this equation? From this equation, what is the value of V2?
Into V1 by Y22.
V2
by Y22
minus Y
Y21
by
Y21 into V1.
right? Minus Y21 by Y22 into V1. Now replace this V2 value in this equation. Now what happened? I1 equal to Y11 into V1 plus Y12 into, so what is the V2? V2 equal to, replace this expression there.
Minus Y.
V2 equal to minus Y21 divided by Y22 into V1, right? So now I1 equal to, from this complete equation, take the V1 common. If you take V1 common, what we have? Here we have the Y11 and here we have the, here we have the minus Y12 into Y21 divided by Y22, right? Now see what happened. Now Z11 equal to V1 divided by I1, that's equal to ఏమొస్తుందమ్మా? And దీన్ని ఇంకా మనము సింప్లిఫై చేసుకోవచ్చు. We can simplify this one as take V1
into Y2.
no ఏమొస్తుందమ్మా? ఎలా రాసుకోవచ్చు? Y11 into Y22 minus Y12 into Y21 divided by Y22, right? Now what is the value of V1 by I1 now? What is the value of V1 by I1? We can write this as a V1 by I1. That means move this I1 toward this side and this
by Y1
this side. So we can write this expression as Y22 divided by Y11 into Y22 minus Y12 into Y21. Is it okay, Nama? Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So same is available here for you. See, Z11 equal to Y22 divided by Y11 into Y22, Y11 into Y22 minus Y12 into Y21, right? Minus Y12 into Y21. We get this expression, right? Okay, Nama? Are you understand how we get this expression? How we get this equation? Same procedure for all. The same procedure we can use for all. Okay. Now, I want to do for the second equation, 30th equation, equation number 30. I want to derive the equation number 30. So for that, equation number 30. So you have to start with these two equations. You have to again start with these two equations because I want to represent the Z parameters in terms of the Y parameter. So you start with the Y parameter equation. Okay, you have to start with the Y parameter equation. Now what you have to calculate? I want to derive the expression for Z12 in terms of the Y parameters. So I want to derive the expression for the Z12 in terms of the Y parameter. So how we define Z12? So Z12 equal to
V1 by I2.
By good. V1 by I2 at I1
equals to 0.
Right. I1 equal to 0, right? Good. Now what we have to do? Replace this I1 equal to 0 in this equation. Replace this I1 equal to 0 in this equation. Now what happened these two equations? So control V. So make same procedure. I1 equal to 0 now. I'm keeping the I1 equal to 0. And I have to calculate V1 by I2, right? I have to calculate V1 by I2. So if you want to calculate V1 by I2, so I2 is there, V1 is there, but here V2 is there. That means I have to convert this V2 in terms of the V1. How we convert the V2 in terms of the V1? By using this equation.
I1 equals to
by using this equation. So we can write V2 equal to minus y11 divided by
y12
y12 into v1, right? Minus y11 by y12 into v1, right? Okay, Nama? So now replace this v12 expression here. Now replace this v12 expression here. Then what happened? I2 equal to y21 into v1 plus y22 into v2, right? So in place of v2, replace this one. You have to write this one. So what happened here? So this value is the minus y11 divided by y12 into v1, right? So I2 equal to take v1 outside, So then what we have? If we take v1 outside, we have the y21
into y12 minus
y11 into y22 divided by y12, right? y1. So now Z1 is defined as v1 by I2, right? And we can expand this expression as that's equal to v1 into v1 multiplied by how we can expand this expression as y21 into y12 minus y11 into y22, right? Divided by y12, right? Divided by y12. So now so what is the definition for the Z12? Z12 equal to v1 by I2 kadamma. So v1 by I2 that's equal to v1 by I2, that's equal to v1 by that's equal to y12 divided by y12 into
y21 minus
can I keep
into y21 minus
that's we can write like y12 into y21 minus y11 into y22, right? Okay, Nama? So now for this expression, if you multiply numerator and denominator with minus sign, suppose if you multiply numerator and also denominator with the negative sign, then what happened? Here we have the minus y12 and here we have the minus here, and it will become plus, right? So see the expression now. Z12 equal to minus y12 divided by y11 into y22, y11 into y22 minus y12 into y21, Okay, na?
Right, sir.
Right? So this is how we represent the Z12 in terms of the y parameter. This is how we represent the Z12 in terms of the y parameters, right? And similarly, I want to find the Z22. I want to represent the Z22. So how we define the Z22? Z22 equal to Z22 equal to
V2 by I2.
V2 by I2.
I2 at I1
equals to 0.
I1 equal to 0. But I have to calculate V2 by I2 now. I have to calculate V2 by I2. Okay, Nama? So how we get the V2 by I2 now? How we get the V2 by I2 now? So V2 by I2. Now again use these two equations. Right? Here I2 have, but I have the V1 here and I have the V2 here. But I want the ratio between V2 and I2 only. Now what you have to do? Convert this V1 into V2. How we convert this V1 into V2? By using this expression. Right? So convert the V1 into V2. If you can, how we can tell me what is the value of V1 in terms of the V2 by using this equation? V1
minus y12
minus
y1
minus
y12 by y11
divided by y11 into V2. So from this equation we can write V1 equal to minus y12 into V2 divided by y11. Now replace this V1 expression in this equation. in place of V1. Okay. Now we have the I2 equal to Y21 multiplied with V1, that's equal to V1 equal to V1 equal to minus Y12 cross
Y12 by Y11
divided by Y11. That is the V1 expression, right? So plus this one, you can copy directly, plus this one. So just in this equation, I am writing the V1, I am replacing the V1 value from here. Now I2 equal to, take V2 common. So if you take V2 common, then what you have? If you take V2 outside, then we have the
minus
Y21 cross Y12, Y21 cross Y12 divided by Y11, Y21 cross Y12 divided by Y11 plus Y22. Okay, and this further extended as V2 multiplied by, so we can write like this: Y11 into Y22 minus Y21 into Y12 divided by Y11. This only, just I am modifying like this by taking the LCM and moving the Y11 left side. We have now. So what is the Z22? So Z22 equal to V2 by I2. I2 here, V2 here. So V2 by I2 equal to V2 by I2. That's equal to Y11 divided by Y11 divided by Y11 into Y22 minus Y21 multiplied with Y12. Right? So Z22 equal to Y11 divided by Y1 into Y22 minus Y21 into Y12. See, Z22 also satisfied. Right? Z22 also satisfied. Okay, Nama? Now what's the pending now? Z22 is completed in terms of the Y parameters. Z1 is completed in terms of the Y parameters. Z11 also completed, and the Z21 is remaining, I think. Z21 we have to finish. So now Z21 equal to V2 divided by I1 at I2 equal to 0. So at I2 equal to 0 means you can use these two equations, right? At I2 equal to 0, that means we can use this equation for getting the Z21, right? So Z21 equal to V2 by I1 kadamma. So we have the V2 here and we have the I1 here, but here we have the V1. So now what you have to do, you have to find the V1 value in terms of V2 and replace that value here. How we get the V1 value in terms of V2? So by using this equation. So what is the value of V1 in terms of V2? So V1
minus Y22 by Y21.
In the minus
Y22 by
Y22 divided by Y21 multiplied with Y22 divided by Y21 multiplied with V2. Right? Now replace this V1 value. Now replace this V1 value here. You have to replace. So what happened? I1, that's equal to Y11 multiplied with V1, and V1 equal to this expression. Right? Just I am replacing the V1 value here. V1 plus, so I1 equal to Y11 into V1 plus Y12 into V2. Y12 into V2. Right? Now take, so I1 equal to take V2, sorry. I1 equal to take V2 outside. Take V2 outside. So if you take V2 outside, then what we have here? Minus Y11 multiplied with Y22 divided by Y21, right? Plus Y12, right? And we can further modify this equation as V2 common, then we can further modify like this.
Sana ఏమైంది?
ఓకే ఏం కాదు జస్ట్ వెయిట్, అది మధ్యలో డిస్కనెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. Right.
సార్ మిగతా వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉన్నారు, ఒకసారి అంటే అలో చేయరా?
ఎవరమ్మా ఉన్నారు లైన్ లో ఎవరన్నా?
ఉన్నారండి సార్.
Okay, okay, okay. Done. Okay. So now if you take V2 outside, then we have minus y11 into y22 income plus y12 multiplied with y21 divided by y21, right? So as per the definition of the Z21, that's equal to V2 by I1. So V2 by I1 means what we have?
V2 by I1.
V2 by I1, that's we can write as a y21 divided by
Y21 by
right, y21 divided by minus y11 y22 plus y12 multiplied with y21, right?
Y21.
Now multiply numerator and denominator minus sign. Minus here.
Minus.
Now it will become plus, and now it will become minus. So Z21 equal to minus y21 divided by y11 and y22 minus y12 into y21, right? Right? Good. So this is the procedure for calculating or to find the relation between any two types of two-port network parameters. Now we discussed how we get the Z parameters in terms of the Y parameter. We can do the same thing, Y parameters in terms of the Z parameters, or Z parameters in terms of the ABCD parameters, or Z parameters in terms of the H parameter. So the same procedure we can use. So in this way we can derive the relation between the different type of the two-port network parameters. Right? Now, so I hope you understand how we derive all those things. Right. So these are the equations. Try to take the snapshot if possible, or try to note it down on the notebook, because you have to solve the next problem. We have the 10 more minutes. Within 10 more minutes, please, I will give one problem and solve that problem and tell the answer. So what is the value, right? So finally, I want to summarize the Z parameters in terms of the Y parameters. In all the cases, you can find the denominator is the same. That is the y11 into y22 minus y12 into y21. Only numerator changes you observe. For Z11, it is a y22. For Z22, it is a y11, right? If it is a Z12, it is a minus y12. If it is a Z21, it is a minus y21. So just remembering of the relation also easy, right? Yeah. Now I'm requesting you all, I'm giving the one problem, next slide. So try to, yeah. So our session may be closed within 10 minutes. So try to solve this problem. See, there is a two-port network. The two-port network has a Y parameter y11 4 by 15. Is there any mistake in the problem? Anyone find the mistake in the problem? Mistake or any typographical mistakes?
All given ohms, all given.
Yeah,
ohms.
right. So it is there's a printing mistake. So I will rectify later. So it is a y11 4 by 15 mhos, not ohms. y12 equal to minus 1 by 5 mhos. y21 equal to minus 1 by 5 mhos. And y22 equal to 2 by 5 mhos. So find the product of, see, you have to find the product of determinant of the Z and Y matrices. Z and Y matrices, you have to find the determinant. So the matrix will be, looks like this. See, the matrix will be, so the Z matrix will be like this. So Z matrix that's equal to matrix that's equal to, first element is Z11, second element is Z12, and the third element is Z21, and Z22, and fourth element is Z22. So similarly, Y parameter also. So for Y parameter, that's also here y11, here y12, here y21, and here y22. So for this square matrix, is easy to calculate the determinant, right? The Z matrix will be looks like this: Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22. Whereas Y matrix like Y11, Y12, Y21, and Y22. The problem is Y parameters are given in the problem. You have to find the Z parameter matrix, later calculate the determinant of the Z parameter matrix and determinant of the Y parameter matrix, and later multiply the both determinants and give the value. What is the value of product of the determinants of the both Z and Y parameters, right? So I will share again the screen. Yeah, this one, right? Okay. Now we have the Y11, Y12, Y21, and Y22. So all the elements in the Y matrix are available. Now you have to find the elements of the Z matrices like Z11, Z12, Z21, and Z22. Later find the determinant of the Y matrix. Later find the determinant of the Z matrix. Now multiply the both determinants and give the value. What is the value? What is the value of product of the determinants of the Z and Y matrices? Right? So please try to solve this problem and please provide the answer. At least one person, if you are able to give the answer, then okay. So remaining people, if you are unable to complete within next 5 minutes, not a problem, you can solve later. But at least one student able to give the answer, then it's fine for me. So try to solve I'm requesting all students try to solve this problem. So try to give the answer. What the product of the determinant of the both Z and Y matrices? Please, Amma. So we have only 6 more minutes. And in the next tomorrow's class, we will discuss about how we represent the Z parameters in terms of the ABCD parameters. So meanwhile, if you understand the today's class, if you have a time, so then try to find the relation between the Z and ABCD parameters by yourself. If you have a difficulty, then you can get the clarification in the tomorrow's session. So if you have a time, you can try yourself. But whether you try or not, but my duty is to explain. So tomorrow session from 4:50 5:30, we are discussing about how we represent the Z parameters in terms of the ABCD parameter. But if you all do it as a homework in the tomorrow, then I will directly move to the Z parameters in terms of the H parameters. If you are unable to find the Z parameters in terms of the ABCD parameters, I will start with the Z parameters in terms of the ABCD parameters. So I hope everyone is doing. So please give the answer. What is the answer for that one? The product of the determinants of Z and Y matrix. We have 5 more minutes. If you want, I will show that relation. Here, this one. So you know the value of y11 4/15, y12 minus 1/5, y21 minus 1/5, y22 2/5. Use these 4 values and substitute in this equation 29 to 32 and find the Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22. Now find the determinant of the Z matrix and all the determinant of the Y matrix and find the product of the both determinants and give the answer. Have a next meeting. So anyhow, forget about the values. What will be the determinant of the index matrix? Forget about the values. Huh? Just assume it's the y11, y12, y21, y22.
8.
Then what the determinant, Amma? What is the determinant of the y matrix?
8. Answer 8 by 15.
Product of the both determinants. Huh?
8 by 15. Sir.
That means the product.
Product of Z matrix, right? Product of Y matrix 1 by 15.
No. Okay, I think it's wrong. See, so forget about the value for only 1 minute. Otherwise, we will continue tomorrow also. What is the determinant of the Y matrix? If the Y matrix has the values y11, y12, y21, and y22, what is the determinant?
Z11 into
1 by
Z22 minus
15.
Z1.
No.
1 by 15. Y matrix.
No. Y matrix determinant, you are saying?
Yes,
Actually, I am expecting the answer for
Sir asking
product
Z.
of the determinants of Z and Y parameters. So find the determinant.
27 by 15.
Find the determinant of the Z matrix. Find the determinant of the Y matrix. Multiply these two determinants and give the value.
27 by 15.
Okay.
Answer.
Okay, cool. Forget about the values and problem for some time. But anyway, it will close. Forget about the value for some time. If a Y matrix has the values y11, y12, y21, y22, what is the determinant of that matrix?
1 by
0.0.
Anyhow, you can try later. So the answer will be 1, Amma.
1.6.
Right?
Sir, 0.9.
0.1.